Recently, our environment's changed, and these changes in our environment have changed the way that we look at storms, storm cells, storm systems. And I remember reading about derechos and the Japanese. And the Japanese have done studies into the environment for many, many years. They're highly intelligent, and when they study something, they really don't put it down until they can pretty much run it down. So when I was reading their study, I got this idea. What if high frequency oscillations in the upper atmosphere are what's causing a derecho environment for our country, the United States? And because of these high frequency vibrations and the Earth's magnetic energy being released into the atmosphere, that the combination of the two is actually causing these storms, these masseteric, I don't know, I guess amorphic storms that are occurring all over our country. So it used to be you'd look at the weather and it'd basically go west coast to east coast, and that would be your weather. You'd see the wind, and you'd know that if the rain was in Colorado, it's going to be in Iowa, and then if it's in Iowa, it's going to go to the east coast. Now you have rainstorms that are coming from, in the middle of nowhere where there's no moisture, and they're forming. And the question is the Earth's energy, the magnetic field, changing in such a way that it's oscillating at a faster rate that's causing greater energy to pull more condensation from the Earth than is actually there. And then because of this, it's actually causing a rapid upload of itself, and it's using the water's energy because of the H2O bond, which has quite a lot of energy between it, and the gravitational flux to create these sideways storms that basically come in, and they can't be identified before they hit, nor can they be spotted from the air, because when they come in hard, they come in fast, and then they're gone. And unlike straight line winds or an actual tornado has a supercell that you can follow, and you can follow the line of it in the comma mark, whereas a derecho doesn't have anything like that. And because of the rapid uptake, and is it possible that the frequencies and the harmonics that we're using for our cell phone tower registries are also helping that along by allowing for the signal frequency of the Earth, the sine wave, to be expounded upon and then magnified in such a way that it's causing harmonization of the vapor of the air, and that rapid harmonization is causing it to oscillate upwards where it gets cold rapidly and then it turns over on itself, but it turns over on itself so fast because it's so departicleized that it's actually just rapidly turning. And then it turns sideways because it's not actually funiculating where the upper atmosphere is coming down to pull the cold up. It's actually coming sideways and drawing itself up sideways because the energy is rolling off the Earth. It's a question, because if that is so, then the United States of America is going to see what I believe is called supercell derechos, which could probably extend for up to 15 miles across. And then they would come down and just absolutely level and devastate areas that the signal frequencies would have an overlap on. Because where would you have more overlap than a convergence zone of frequencies? And because of high-level oscillations and the Earth's magnetic frequency of itself, you have to imagine the Earth's sending out a frequency at all times from the center of itself, right? It's incommunicated with itself to alleviate the energy that comes into it. It has to relieve that energy from it, and it does it through the sine. Magnetic energy is the sine. Now, if that magnetic energy comes to a point where it's readily released, say signal towers or otherwise, well, then it would not just release, but it would expand. And when it expands, everything around it would be excited because of the energy coming through it. And that excitement, which causes high frequencies, extremely high frequencies, which causes it to oscillate, vibrate fast, which causes the molecular structure of it to become very loose. And that looseness of it allows it to be drawn upwards, and then any type of buoyancy to itself causes it to rotate up and under, up and under, up and under, up and under, and your storms can then come from that. It's just a question, but theoretically the approach could be very simple. You would state that the Earth not only has magnetohydrodynamics, the release of the energy through the water system, but the added buoyancy of the Earth's magnetohydrodynamics is thereby increased by the signal towers and the electrical presence that we create through the energy that we're emitting through our cellular devices and otherwise. It's just a perspective. It's narrow pointed. It doesn't have any scientific research, but it's worth looking at because, gosh, could you imagine a 15-mile wide derecho hitting Kansas City, Kansas? 120 miles per hour just sideways? Like a lawnmower. Oh my gosh.